I think that's it.
Good.
And then the people should be able to, the people on Teams should be able to.
Yeah, they should be showing up. You don't see them on there yet? You go to Teams, you don't see them yet.
Maybe it's done.
Yeah, it's like those two people, right? Or is that you?
No, it's the same. I wonder if it's the person that's doing IT. But this is what I'm going to be presenting.
Let me check on there if it comes up, okay?
We're almost there. So that the people that are joining us virtually are able to see it.
And the other ones, maybe you double check about 408 and 410. Hey, what's your name? Anali? Yeah, Anali.
What was the other one?
410 and 408.
Just about was running.
Okay, but the audio was working?
Yeah, she didn't share her screen. Yep, she's good.
He's good, right?
Good to go. Yeah, people online already. Yeah, you're good to go. You can start to send.
We're good.
So what
Good
is
to go.
410 and 408? So, okay, you're saying 410 couldn't see.
No, I could hear it. She wasn't sharing her screen.
Do you girls want to join or you guys are more than welcome to just to like, make sure floaters sounds good. So I'll come over here and we'll move around and stuff. And so thank you for being here. Thank you for the people that are joining us online. Today we're going to be talking about the different drinks that we drink every day, right? And what we should be thinking more about what we should be drinking. So then the lesson for today is called make sure that we are rethinking our drink and making sure that every drink that we drink counts. So this right here is just a poster that we show at any presentation. So this is a civil rights poster, and it's this presentation is funded by the USDA SNAP program. And we just wanted to show you that USDA is an equal rights employer and for opportunities. So this one, I just wanted to show it real quick since it's part of the presentation, but I know that for our viewers online, all of the features have been pre-ready. So let's go ahead and get started. So as you can see, we have a question right here that says, why should we make everyday a drink day? So what do you guys think? Why would it be important?
Hydration and what fuels you, and food is what fuels your body, so you need it.
Yes, so important parts, right? We need hydration for our bodies. What we eat is also, we get nutrients and stuff, so it's helpful. But also, you know, as it says on the screen, when we learn to make those healthier options, it's going to reduce a lot of the amount of sugar that we have. Unfortunately, with a lot of the sugar sweetened beverages, they do tend to have a lot of added sugar. So it's gonna, when we start being mindful about what we drink, we can prevent illnesses, right? Such as type 2 diabetes and then heart disease as well. So today we're going to be talking about a few topics, and those are going to include knowing any healthy drink options. We might not know a lot. We also want to talk about different food labels. So it's important as well. Now that could be a little bit tricky, but we're going to have different examples and scenarios for you guys. And then we also want to know why serving sizes matter, right? Also going back to the fact of our products when we're drinking something. So like the nutrition foods label. And then the last thing that we're going to do is we're also going to give you some math equations so you guys at home can try to calculate how much sugar we're drinking, right, in those different drinks that we have. So right here is an image with different sizes of cups, as you guys can see. And this is where I'm going to have, I'm going to ask some of you guys' input. So how big is your cup? So regularly, do you guys have at home or when you guys go to restaurants, which one would you identify that your cup is? Is it an 8 ounce? Is it a 12 ounce, 16 or 24? What do you guys think? Or who can hear? Anyone can share.
Maybe 12 ounces.
Maybe 12 ounces,
Yeah.
okay.
Most likely the 16 ounce.
Most likely 16. Yeah. What about you girls? What do you think? 16? Okay. And thank you for sharing. Here, my question was how many of you guys use the 8 ounce, right? And then based on our previous questions or the previous answers, we know that we tend to go a little bit higher when it comes to beverages. And so if you are wondering, like, or other questions of why does this matter is because as, you know, our portion sizes increase, the amount of ingredients that are in the drinks are also going to increase, right? And for the sugars in beverages, sugar is going to increase, right? So whenever we can, whenever we go out to restaurants, if we can choose the smaller cup, it would be, you know, better for us. So as you guys can see, there's different types of drinks that we have here. And now my question to you guys is, which ones of these do you guys recognize? Which ones of these do you tend to drink? Maybe not on a regular basis, but here and there, or even on a regular basis. Anybody want to share? What do you guys think? Coffee?
Tea.
Tea? And so with coffee, sorry to put you on the spot, but is it just like plain dark coffee or do we add stuff to it?
I learned not to put anything on it, but I used to put.
Used to,
Yeah, but now it's black.
black coffee. Okay. So these are just different examples of different drinks, and you know, depending on what it is, they're gonna have different ingredients, but also the sugar content, it's gonna be different. So now, before I show you guys this video right here, I wanted to ask how many of us here know what's in our drinks? So for example, do we know every single thing that's in our drinks when it comes to the nutrition label and the ingredients? Can we say, oh, calcium disodium, I know what that is. What do we think here? Like maybe some of them. What would be your input?
Most people don't read the labels.
Okay, so to start with, many of us might not be that's not going to be our first interest when it comes to drink. So thank you for sharing that. And yes, sometimes we might not know, right, what all of the ingredients is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch my screen to share so I can show you guys this video. And move over here. Right, so everyone, oh, it's not doing it. Let's see. Gonna have to escape. Maybe it doesn't let me show or move from screens. Maybe if I hit play, it'll go. Unless our screen froze, which. Sorry about that, you guys.
And I'm sorry, I didn't remember. I had so many interactions with you.
Let me see.
Thank you for being here.
So I don't think the video is, I can hear it on my end and I can see it, but it's not transferring to the screen. So I'm sorry about that, but I can always share the link with you guys. And then you guys are welcome to ask for the link. We can share it, and then it's a great video because it shows us how much sugar it's actually poured. And not just the ingredients, but the actual sugar. So another question for everyone here in the room. What do you guys think happens if we drink a lot of beverages that have a lot of sugar? What do you think? Could be some scenarios, some examples.
Diabetes.
So we can do chronic illnesses. Anything else?
Dehydration.
So dehydration, it's a good one. And let me show you a couple more here. So we know that most of these drinks have a lot of sugar, right? So it's also gonna, it can interfere with our dental hygiene. So especially with younger population who is developing their teeth and stuff, can experience tooth decay or cavities. We know that sugar and sweetened beverages lead to weight gain and obesity. It may lead to diabetes, as you had mentioned, and it also may lead to heart disease. And then another thing that we wanted to make note of is that sometimes when we are focusing too much on these drinks, we might forget the drinks that are all the healthier options, right? Because we might be replacing healthy beverages, just like water and milk. As you know, that water and milk, water, as you mentioned, we need it for hydration, and then for milk, we know that it has vitamins and minerals that is, also good for our health, for our bones. So right here, just wanted to show you a website that we recommend for the campaign for Rethink Your Drink Day. This is the website that you can go to. This is what we promote. So if you go to rethinkyourdrinkday.com, not only are you going to find resources there that you can print out different recipes for healthy drinks, but you can also check this activity right here that's called What's Your Beverage Breakdown. And basically what it is once you hit start, you're going to be selecting, it's going to ask a couple of questions. For example, it's going to ask you, what do you drink usually for breakfast? You can select something. And then you can also select something for lunch and dinner, right? And then once you select all those drinks to the best of your capabilities, I know that some are different. For example, I don't think it has like cappuccinos, right? But it might have something that's a little bit similar to that. It'll calculate how much sugar you drink. So it's, something that's good to be aware of. But it also gives you some different ideas that you can try. So definitely recommend rethinkyourdrinkday.com. Not only recipes, but you can also participate on the beverage breakdown. So this right here, it's like a poster that we have at presentations. And then it talks about a little bit right here about your knowing what's on your nutrition label, right? So we're going to extend it and make it bigger, but it was just an introduction to show you that we want to make every sip count, and that's also being aware of what we're drinking. Okay, so right here, this is going to be an example of a nutrition facts label. As you can see that this one is an example for low-fat milk, 1% low-fat milk. So some things that we want to look at, it's going to be highlighted. So for example, we're going to see that the serving size is 1 cup, right? And then it also has information such as sugars, total sugars, and added sugars. So what is the serving size? If anyone can look at the screen and tell me.
1 cup.
Okay. So yes, so the serving size that we can look at is 1 cup. So what's one serving? The cup, or 240 milliliters. And then once we move to the calories, or how many servings are in this container?
2.
2, right? So, and this is a part where it might be confusing if it's the first time that we've seen a nutrition facts, because sometimes we could see that it says, oh, the serving size is 1 cup, and we think the whole box or container is just that serving size, right? But sometimes we have to look at the tricky part that it says that it's 2 servings per container. So this container has 2 servings. So it's 2 cups. So we're going to double on everything. We're going to double on calories. We're going to double on sugars and things like that. And this is going to become important later on, because we're going to be doing some math activities today. So when we move forward, as we mentioned, there's 2 servings, right? And then how many calories are in 1 serving?
105.
105, thank you. So 105 calories. And then, so how many calories are in the whole container?
210.
210, right? So then that's where we start to notice that it's going to be a little bit more. And that's why, we think that it's important to pay attention to the nutrition facts labels. So we're going to have 210 calories per this container, which is low-fat milk. And although we see that it has, 210 calories, and it does have 12 grams of sugar, I wanted to mention that it's natural sugar, right? So it's sugar that is good for us. And we can see that it says that it includes 0 grams of added sugar. Another thing I wanted to mention is that a couple years ago, up until now, the sugars were only seen as total sugars in the nutrition label side. So before it was only total sugars, we didn't know if that meant if there was any natural sugars. We didn't know if that meant that they were all added sugars, right? So as you can see now, the newer nutrition labels, they do have another line that they added, and that's going to tell you, it's going to tell you how many added, if any, added sugars we have. So then we just wanted to go over some other summaries. So for example, total sugars, we know it's going to be either natural or added sugar. It could be any other combination. It could be just the added sugar. We know that natural sugar is going to come from milk. It's going to come from fruit and 100% juice. And then added sugar, it's going to be coming from, different sorts of drinks. That includes soda, punch, sport drinks, and any other fruit flavored drinks. And right here, we like to show this. We also have in the poster when we go to different places, because these are all the names that sugar can be found as, right? So yes, you can see sugar. It could be fructose, sucrose, glucose. We can even see maple syrup, corn sugar, dextrin. So we might see different names in just one drink. So I think it's also interesting to show and good to know. Okay, so now we're going to talk about a little bit on added sugars. As we mentioned right now, that now added sugars are listed separately on the new food label. We want to recommend to have less than 10% of the calories every day. And this is just based on a 2,000 calorie diet. We know that for different people, it's going to be different. So just that arrow going up. And so I think now we're going to be showing, we're going back to the label and then asking some questions. So for this one, we're going to be looking at added sugars. So how many grams of added sugars are in this one serving? 0. Okay, good job. So how many grams of added sugar are in the whole container? Gonna be 0, yeah. And move forward. So then how many grams of total sugars are in the whole container? 12. Let's see. So that could be our tricky question, right? Because we know that, so there's 12 in one serving, but this one's going to have 2 servings. So it's actually going to be 24 grams. Okay. So another question for you guys. How do we know if a beverage has added sugar? Is it A, by reading the ingredient label? Is it B, you can tell just by looking at it? C, you can look for the added sugars in the food label, or both A and C? Both A and C, right? Hopefully nobody chose B, because we can't really do that. We can't really tell based on the, just looking at a drink, how much sugar it has. So now we're gonna get into the calculations and wanted to show you some things. So this is a poster that we also have, and this one is called How Much Sugar is in Your Drink, right? So for this one, one important thing that we want to make note of is the number 4, because that's usually we know that the grams, that the sugars are going to be in grams, but what does that really mean, right? We're not going to go to the grocery store and we don't have something that measures in grams, right? We're not going to do that. So an easier way is that we know that grams divided by 4 is going to equal to 1 teaspoon of sugar. So however many grams of sugar we have, the magic number that we should know is 4. We should try to remember that magic number, because not only is it, something that you can use for.
Parents and presenters, please excuse the interruption.
Anyway.
This is just a friendly reminder that we want parents and attendees to stay in the classrooms after the session is over in order to view the very important awards ceremony that we have planned for after session 2. Thank you.
That's good to know. So, yes. So real quick, just to recap, the number 4 is important. Not only can we use it to measure stuff, sugar when it comes to drinks, we can also do it with food. So number 4. So calculating teaspoons of sugar. We're looking at this example right here that we have. It's a 12-ounce can, and it has 10 teaspoons of sugar, right? So if I run over here, you're going to see how that happens. So we know that 4 grams of sugar is going to equal to 1 teaspoon. Oops, do that here. We know that the serving size is 1 can and it's 12 ounces. We know that there's 1 serving here, it's not 2. Some drinks that are taller might have different, it could be like 2, 2.5. So what we're going to be doing here, and we have it up in the screen as well, is that once we have the total number of grams, we're going to divide it by 4. So 40 divided by 4 is 10 teaspoons, right? So 1 12-ounce can of soda has 10 teaspoons of sugar. Do you think that's a little or a lot? It's a lot, right? Because when we make our drinks at home, we're probably not going to use 10 teaspoons of sugar for 1 drink, which is 12 ounces. And when we go back to the beginning, it was a 12-ounce cup. That's usually what we're drinking, right? And if we're doing more than 12 ounces, it's going to be even more. So let's go ahead and practice. So now this one is a different soda. I think this is, instead of the can, now we're going to have the bottle. That's 20-ounce bottle. So what is the serving size?
1 bottle.
Okay, so 1 bottle, 20 ounce, right? How many grams of sugar are in the bottle?
65.
65, perfect. And then how many teaspoons of sugar are in the bottle? So let's remember our magic number, right? So whatever grams of sugar, we're going to divide it by 4. So now we're going to divide 65 by 4. And so we get about 16 teaspoons of sugar. So again, do we think that's a lot or a little when it comes to a drink? That's a lot, right? I also wanted to show you visually, as we are, some of us are visual learners, what that is. So this is 16 teaspoons of sugar. So this is what we're drinking when we drink a 20-ounce soda. Will we add this to our drink if we were just drinking 1 bottle of water? Probably not, right? So just wanted to show you guys real quick. So I know that we briefly talked about your sugar sweetened beverages and stuff, but we also want to talk about not only the bad things, right? We're not here to tell you that we shouldn't be drinking these drinks. We can drink them on moderate levels, right? They should not be everyday drinks. It's something that we call sometimes drinks, right? It's not every day, it's sometimes. So going back to the make every sip count poster, the things that are red, it's what we want to focus on. And then right now we're going to go to the next slide, and then we're going to show you guys one by one. So we want to choose water first, right? Water does not have calories or added sugar. And then we want to try drinking tap water. And I know some of us might not be fond of drinking tap water because of the taste. The one tip that we recommend is that if you fill up, just water in a water container, you leave it overnight, it's gonna evaporate some of that chlorine taste. And then by the next day, you shouldn't be able to notice. So that's some things that we do or that we recommend. Another thing or another option is milk, right? We know that it nourishes our body, provides calcium and vitamin D. It's not going to have added sugar. It is going to have sugar, but it's going to be natural sugar. And this is just, broadly, some adults might need 3 cups of dairy products per day, but depending on the person, we know that, of course, it's going to vary. Another option is juice, right? But before I get into that, as you guys can see, the first dot point that we have here, it says you want to choose whole fruits and vegetables most often. And the reason is because whole fruits and vegetables, they still have that fiber, right? They still have things that when it's processed in the juice, we might lose. We know that fiber is going to be helping our digestive system. It's going to help us to keep our bodies like full or that we feel full. So whenever we can, if we can have the whole fruits and vegetables first, that would be good. And then the other two dot points that we have here is that we want to drink juice in small amounts. We want to, for adults, about 8 ounces per day. But another thing that we really want to make note of is that our when we're looking at the nutrition label, as we practice in the other ones, is that we want to make sure that it's 100% fruit juice, right? Sometimes it might say 3% or 2%, or sometimes we're not really sure what it has. So that's another thing. So now, this is another question for you guys. What are you guys, after learning this information, what are you guys going to do? What do you think? Do you think any of this was useful? Do you think you're going to try to think about your drinks more often?
Yes.
Yes. So let's go ahead and move forward. We have some examples. So this is divided into 2 sections. It says you can choose most often or drink less often, right? So and the most often we have water. We know that we have the low fat or fat free or lactose free milk. We know that there's different milk varieties. You can do fortified the soy milk. We can try to see into your coffee. And what we want to drink less of is soda, sports drinks, fruit drinks, and then energy drinks, and sweetened or blended coffees. So as you guys remember, throughout the middle of the presentation, we talked about that website that, it's very easy to look up. It's rethinkyourdrinkday.com. They have a lot of good recipes. So here's an example of one. And if you guys want, I'm actually also doing a table, or we're tabling out for the event. And we do have these recipes available for you guys if you guys want to take some. So in the front, it says what kind of, favorite flavor yours is. We have sweet, we have tangy, or herbal, and tropical. You turn it around and it has different options that you guys can take. So this one is just the berry blasted water. But again, if you can also go to rethinkyourdrinkday.com. And then you can also try. So as you guys know that I mentioned, it could be a tangy. You guys might like those better. So this one is an orange and blueberry water. And then just a couple more things before we are almost done. I know it's almost 11. So with our Rethink Your Drink lesson, we want to choose water first. And I see some of you guys took water, or everyone. We also want to, use the label to our benefit. So that way, when we're making smarter choices, we're looking at what's behind that label. So, any questions before we finish? So this is, I think we have just one more slide that we have to show. So thank you. And again, this is our poster that we show our presentations. The Justice for All poster. And then from here, that's it.